We are ready. We're in the zone. Let's get our science on.
All right, so was there a bet and who won it? Who bet on what?
Oh, so okay.
Stephen Hawking and Kip Thorne.
Kip is the loveliest guy, and he's a straight shooter. He's going to vote for the black hole, and Stephen was a bit of a trickster and had this kind of inimical quality to him.
She's on first name basis.
Oh, Stephen.
With Stephen Hawking.
Oh, that's so obnoxious. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hawking was a bit of a trickster, and so he bet against black holes, even though so much of his life had been devoted to understand them. I think he also suspected that they were observing a black hole, but he just wanted to, he wanted to bet the, I don't know, be the opposition, be the antagonist, be the devil's advocate. So yes, he bet against Kip, but he did capitulate pretty early on. And I think the story is he broke into Kip's office at Caltech or some such.
Wait, Stephen Hawking did this?
Yeah.
That's a detail left out of the story.
I'm just trying to
let that one go.
I'm just saying.
We'll let that one go. Okay.
Okay.
So he rappelled down the building.
I mean, I would believe it, because I would leave it up to Stephen Hawking to figure out a way to rappel down a building,
Yeah, to break into Kip's office, yeah.
Okay.
And the sun and the moon are practical objects. Maybe, there was some confusion. Maybe you know the old story about the Persian wise man and philosopher who was asked which is more useful, the sun or the moon, and replied, of course, the moon, because the sun shines in the daytime when it's light out anyway. Whereas the moon only shines at night when we need a little light.
So there's a video of all of the occasions where they abuse their own robots. So they have robots that are walking, and then they just kick them. And then it's interesting because...
I think you can tell a lot about a person about how they treat a robot.
Well, that's my point.
That wasn't my favorite. My favorite Zeldovich quote was when I would try to do too much, Alex would say, Zeldovich would tell you, 9 women cannot have baby in 1 month. So that was
I think we have some time left. I do want to say 2 things. First of all, you'll notice Pluto is not on this chart. And second, and secondly,
Get over it.
And are you sure? And what really, actually, the other thing that really worried me for those of us backstage in the dressing room was, well, you haven't seen the underwear, but in any case.
First of all, the answer is not even a positive number, and it's not an integer. It's not a whole number. It's -1/12. So sometimes people ask me, what is your favorite number? And it's a kind of a joke. I say -1/12. It's actually 42.
So your favorite number is not an ordered set.
Right.
Now, when I talk about sort of the dynamics of the system encrypting its initial conditions, the way we have to think about it is the process of physical process of molecules bouncing around and so on. That's like a computation. Now, the question is it like a computation where we can just jump ahead and say, and the answer is 42, or is it a computation where the only way we can know the answer is by doing every step in the computation?
So one of the things that is also supposed to be killing the Big Bang is that one way of measuring the expansion rate of the universe gives a number 69 ± 1, and another gives 72 ± 1. So they're 2 or 3 sigma apart. Okay, holy mackerel, the Big Bang is dead. Okay, when I was a junior professor, there were 2 measurements of the rate expansion of the universe. One was 100. It doesn't matter what the units are. 100 ± 5, and one was 42 ± 5. I like the 42 for obvious reasons, but if you've read Douglas Adams,
apply your talents in a way that you're passionate about and is going to make a difference.
And that's only possible with optimism, hope, and hard work.
Yeah.
What easy question? Certainly easier than nuclear fusion. What's the meaning of life? Why are we here?
42.
Is it 42?
And the whole thing depends on our collective trust to work. I had to explain this to Stephen Colbert once on the Colbert show, the old show that was actually funny. And it was a great moment when he said, so Neil, could I be money? And I said, yes, we could settle a debt with a human being. That was quite common in much of history, but it's not the most convenient form of money.
You find that at some very, very high energy scale, there is a point where these three lines, the electromagnetic force, the weak force, and the strong force, sort of come together a bit, but not quite. If you introduce supersymmetry, these lines meet rather exactly at a particular place, labeled unification. And this suggests that with supersymmetry, these three forces are unified into some single overlying force, which possibly should be called the force.
When will we have these data?
Katie would know better than
Katie?
Yeah. No, I don't know either. Just 2012, I think.
It's always just a year away.
It's always just a year away.
How'd you guess?
That's better than 10 years away.
And everything we know about the universe, at least for Richard and I, leads us to the conclusion there's no evidence of purpose or of divine intervention. But that doesn't mean we argue definitively that we can prove that that can't be the case. So we're not denying, we're just asserting the evidence of reality. And in fact, I don't describe myself as an atheist. I have learned from my friend, again, Christopher Hitchens, I describe myself as an anti-theist. Namely, I cannot prove that there's no God. I just certainly wouldn't want to live in a universe with one. I don't know if you want to add anything.
No.
Okay.
That's all, folks.
La rivedere.